All right, so today's been a bit of a difficult day. Dad put on over a kilo in the last day. So what that is he's retaining fluid because his heart's not strong enough to kind of pump it around his body. So when things aren't going well, he puts on a lot of weight really quickly. So over a kilo in a day, and that's just all fluids. The reason why that's bad is because to get rid of that fluid, we have to give him things that make his kidneys work better, so he has to wee it out. It basically fucks his kidneys. So one of the reasons that he puts on weight is if he has too high salt in his diet or eats things that he kind of shouldn't. And I think he's been pretty good recently. Today he got visited early in the morning on a not good day by an old friend of his who they talked for a while. Dad was in a bit of a shitty mood. You know, he was a bit depressed before they came, but afterwards he was even worse. And I had a suspicion that potentially, and this is not a slight on Dad's friends, but they all love eating. It's a big part of Chinese culture, and it's what they want to talk about. And because Dad's on so many dietary restrictions and all the things he can't have, you know, the things that are high in salt, tasty fish sauce, hoisin sauce, soy sauce, which is in everything that Dad wants to eat, he gets a bit depressed and stuff. So I had the suspicion, so I texted her after she left. I said, Dad seems quite depressed today. Did he mention anything about it? And then after a while, I got this message back. Yes, he did. He fears death or pain of dying. He's very upset that you are too restrictive on his favourite foods because he said, why not let him enjoy the bit that he could? After all, he doesn't eat much and that he's going to die. Big guilt trip. Then this kicker, I agree with him. So perhaps you need to put yourself in his shoes and think about it. I know you're trying to let him live longer, but what is the point if it is going to be a miserable one? Happy to chat with you anytime. So that really pissed me off because if you got a whole lot of old Asians in a room, they are all a doctor and all want to prescribe things and think they know what's best. I had one of Dad's other friends tell me that he's been to all of Dad's doctor's appointments, even though I am going to all of Dad's doctor's appointments. He went to maybe 2 or 3. He happened to be there when the doctor rocked up in hospital and tried to tell me that salt wasn't good. Anyway, it's infuriating. So I wrote this back, and this is a little, not unfair because I think it's warranted, but it's kind of a lot of frustration from a whole bunch of people asking the same question and telling me that I'm too restrictive on my dad and that I should let him eat whatever he wants because he doesn't have long to leave anyway. So I wrote this. I said, I don't think you understand how serious his condition is. His options for the end of his life are kidney failure, which gives him a chance of going peacefully in his sleep, or eating food he likes and gaining fluid, which will make him feel like he's drowning for days or weeks, as a much nastier way for him to go. Because that's what happens when your fluid builds up to your lungs. You feel like you're drowning, and it doesn't get you straight away. You know, it waits till, you know, you have heart failure or something. So, in consultation with his medical team, all of us, including Dad, have made the decision that kidney failure is the preferred option. We've worked very hard and made a lot of sacrifices to keep him comfortable and healthy, and have only ever acted in Dad's best interests. Unfortunately, this means that when Dad doesn't get his way, my new wife and I are spoken of as if we were villains and keeping him prisoner against his will. This is very unfair on us, and I would appreciate any efforts not to perpetuate this idea. I understand that food is very important to Dad and his friends, but what you all consider as good food is now poison to Dad and will cause him to have a miserable, painful, and anxious death. Something I'm sure no one would wish on Dad. So, I don't know if that's too harsh or not, but it was just the culmination of a whole bunch of frustration of a lot of Dad's friends fucking joking around the issue. Let him do what he wants. When the option is, if Dad goes and has some char kway teow, even if it's this much, he's going to drown to death. And it's really hard. I think I'm just sick of having to make the tough decisions and no one respecting me for it. Like, if it was her son and my dad was like, let him play with the power saw, and she was like, no, don't do that, or he had dietary restrictions and we did it anyway, you'd be furious and you wouldn't be able to go to their place anymore. And it's got to that point where I've been this close a number of times to telling Dad's friends that they're no longer welcome because they keep undermining me, and it's really shitting me off. I mean, I am his caregiver, and he's under my care, and I'm his family. So just fucking respect the rules that are in place.